Chapter 1. The interview begins. A moment of anticipation. The studio is silent. Only the hum of the cameras fills the air. The lights shine down, bright, almost too bright. Maria Bartiromo sits tall, her hands resting on the desk. A pen in her right hand, a stack of notes beside her. She glances at the clock. Any second now. Across from her, Donald Trump leans back in his chair. His suit is sharp. His tie, red, bold, perfect. He adjusts it, then looks straight into the camera. He knows people are watching. He always knows. Millions of viewers. Waiting. Some support him. Some don't. But all of them are listening. The producer raises his hand. We're live in 5, 4, 3. The countdown disappears. The red light flashes. The interview begins. Maria takes a breath. Mr. President, she says, her voice smooth, controlled, let's start with the big picture. Trump tilts his head, a small smirk on his lips. Go ahead, he says. I'm ready. She doesn't waste time. America is divided. The economy is struggling. People want answers. What do you say to them? Trump leans forward. His hands come together. He nods slowly. Look, he says, America is the greatest country in the world. We were strong, very strong. But now? He shakes his head. Now it's a mess. Terrible leadership, bad decisions, and the people. He pauses. The people are suffering. Maria doesn't blink. She knows this rhythm. The pauses, the tone, the words that pull people in. But she needs more. So, she presses, what would you do differently? Trump exhales, his shoulders rising, then falling. Everything, he says. We had the best economy, the best military, the best trade deals, but they ruined it. Who? Trump's expression hardens. The current administration, the media, the weak politicians. He waves his hand. People who don't love this country like I do. The words land like a stone in water. The ripples begin. Social media explodes. The comments flood in. Some agree, some argue, some just watch. Maria shifts in her chair. The tension tightens, like a rope being pulled at both ends. She nods, flipping through her notes. Many say the economy is recovering. Jobs are up. Markets are stabilizing. Trump chuckles. Who says that? She lifts a paper. Reports from the Federal Reserve. The latest economic data. Fake news, he interrupts. You know it, Maria. Everybody knows it. A beat of silence. The studio feels smaller, like the walls are closing in. Maria glances at the camera. The audience is watching, waiting. She keeps going. Let's talk about foreign policy. You wrote a letter to Iran. Trump's smirk fades. His eyes narrow. Yes, I did. What was in that letter? A pause. The air thickens. Trump taps his fingers on the desk. A warning, he says, voice low. A strong warning. Maria leans in. A threat? He shakes his head. No. A promise. Another pause. The words settle, heavy, powerful. Maria stays calm. She has more questions. Many more. But time is short, and Trump controls the pace. He always does. Let's talk about the Panama Canal. Trump's hands go up. Huge mistake, he says. We never should have given it away. Never. But it wasn't your administration. I don't care, he interrupts. It's ours. We built it. We controlled it. And now, China is moving in. Mark my words, Maria, bad things are happening. His voice rises. The energy shifts. The interview is heating up. Maria steadies herself. You say America is in trouble. You say things were better before. If you were president today, what would you do first? Trump exhales sharply. Close the border, secure our elections, bring back American jobs. Day one, Maria. Day one. His hand slams on the desk. Not hard, but enough. Enough to make a point. Enough to make people lean closer. Maria nods, her expression unreadable. And if you don't return to office? Trump tilts his head. Then America's in trouble. Silence. The red light blinks. The interview isn't over, but this moment is. A moment of power, of confidence, of certainty. Trump leans back, satisfied. Maria glances at her notes. The hardest questions are still ahead. She takes a deep breath, and the conversation continues. Chapter 2. Trump on Iran negotiations. A letter, a warning. The room is silent. The air heavy. The cameras rolling. Donald Trump sits still, his hands pressed together, his eyes locked on Maria Bartiromo. His face gives away nothing. No hesitation, no doubt, just confidence. Iran. A word that carries history. Tension. Danger. I sent them a letter, Trump says. His voice is steady, low. A very strong letter. Maria leans in. What did it say? Trump tilts his head. A smirk plays on his lips. He knows this question is coming. He wants it. He enjoys it. It was a warning, he says. Maria's pen hovers over her notepad. A warning about what? Trump exhales. About what happens if they don't listen. The studio feels colder. The weight of his words fills the space. A warning? A promise? A threat? Do you think Iran will respond? Maria asks. A long pause. Trump leans back in his chair. He crosses his arms. They don't have a choice. A moment of stillness. The words hang in the air. Maria's eyes flicker to the camera. The audience is watching. People at home, on their couches, in their cars, at their desks, some nodding, some shaking their heads, some just listening, waiting for what comes next. Mr. President, Maria says carefully, some believe your approach is too aggressive. That diplomacy... Trump raises a hand. Diplomacy? We tried that. We gave them deals. We gave them money. Billions. He shakes his head. And what did we get? Lies. More threats. More nuclear weapons. His voice rises, stronger, sharper. It's simple. We can't be weak. Weakness is dangerous. Maria nods slowly. But what if this leads to war? Trump doesn't blink. It won't. How can you be sure? He smirks. Because they know I mean business. The conversation shifts. The pressure builds. Maria glances at her notes. Some leaders say your actions increase tension in the Middle East, that they push Iran closer to China, to Russia. Trump laughs. Oh, believe me, China's already in the picture. Russia too. But guess what? They respect strength. They don't respect weakness. And right now, America looks weak. His hands move as he speaks. Sharp gestures. Controlled. Deliberate. I stopped them before, he says. No nuclear weapons. No attacks. They were afraid of me. Maria holds his gaze. Do you think they're afraid now? Another pause. Trump leans forward. His voice drops. Not like before. Silence. The weight of that answer settles in. A shift. A realization. Maria adjusts in her chair. If you were in office today, what would you do differently? Trump smiles. Everything. A small chuckle escapes Maria's lips. Let's be specific. He nods. First, no deals unless they're fair. No sending billions for nothing. No lifting sanctions unless they actually stop their nuclear program. And if they don't? His voice is calm, controlled. Then they pay the price. Maria scribbles notes. What do you mean by that? Trump shrugs. Let's just say they'd rather not find out. Another pause. Another moment of tension. Across the country, across the world, people are listening. Some in agreement, some in fear, some in disbelief. Maria presses on. Some people say this is reckless. That pressure like this leads to conflict, not peace. Trump shakes his head. They don't understand. You don't get peace by begging. You get peace by showing strength, by making them afraid to cross you. Maria listens, watches, studies him. Do you regret pulling out of the Iran deal? She asks. Trump laughs. Not for a second. But experts say... Experts? Trump interrupts. He shakes his head. The same experts who let this mess happen? Give me a break. Maria doesn't push. She lets the moment sit. The energy in the room is different now. Charged. Heavy. She takes a breath. One last question, Mr. President. Trump nods. Go ahead. If Iran calls tomorrow, if they want to talk, do you pick up the phone? Trump smirks. Depends on what they're offering. The tension lingers. A final pause. Maria leans back. The interview isn't over, but this moment is. A moment of power, of strategy, of something bigger than just words. Trump sits still, his expression unreadable. But one thing is clear. This conversation is far from finished, and the world is watching. Chapter 3. The Panama Canal Controversy. We should have never given it away. The studio is quiet. The air thick. The only sound is the hum of cameras recording every word, every expression. Donald Trump sits still, his hands resting on the table. His eyes locked on Maria Bartiromo, a flicker of frustration on his face. He shakes his head. Slowly. Firmly. The Panama Canal. A disaster, he says. His voice, low but strong. We built it. We controlled it. And now it's gone. Maria tilts her head. Mr. President, why do you think the U.S. should take it back? Trump leans in. His voice drops to a near whisper. China. That's why... Silence. A moment of wait. The name alone changes everything. Maria watches him. What do you mean? Trump exhales sharply. They're moving in, controlling ports, controlling trade. It's a power game, Maria, and we're losing. The words hang in the air. The Panama Canal, a passage of water. But to Trump, it's more. It's control, power, leverage. He taps his fingers on the desk. We spent billions building it. American money, American lives. And what did we do? We gave it away. Maria doesn't break eye contact. It was signed away in 1977. That was long before your presidency. Trump waves his hand. Doesn't matter. It should have never happened. His tone sharpens. The deal was weak. The leaders were weak. Maria shifts in her chair. So, what do you propose? Do you want the U.S. to take back control? Trump leans back. I think we should have never left. Another pause. Outside, across the country, people are watching. Some nodding in agreement. Some shaking their heads. Some just listening, waiting for the next words. Maria glances at her notes. Many experts say Panama has managed the canal well. Trade has increased. The economy has grown. Trump chuckles. Experts? He shakes his head. The same experts who let China take over half the world? No, thank you. His hands tighten. Listen, Maria. The Panama Canal isn't just a waterway. It's a chess piece, a strategic piece, and we gave it up. His voice rises. We used to be respected, feared. Now, other countries walk all over us. And China? He shakes his head again. China is playing the long game. Maria nods. She's heard this before. Trump's warnings about China, his views on global power, his belief that America is being outplayed. She flips a page in her notebook. Some say retaking the canal is impossible, that it would start a diplomatic crisis. Trump raises an eyebrow. Diplomatic crisis? You think China worries about that? No, they take what they want. He leans forward. We need to wake up, Maria. A moment of stillness. The room feels smaller, tighter, like the walls are closing in. Maria's voice is calm. Would you take military action? Trump doesn't flinch. I don't want war. Nobody does. But I want strength. His fingers tap the desk again. Strength means making tough decisions. Strength means not letting China walk into our backyard and take what we built. Maria nods. So, what would your next step be? Trump exhales. First, we put pressure. Sanctions, economic leverage. We tell Panama that letting China in is unacceptable. And if they refuse? Trump shrugs. Then we have other ways. Maria pauses. The air is thick again. Other ways. 2 words that say everything. She adjusts her posture. Some say this is unnecessary, that the U.S. has other trade routes. Trump laughs. You think trade is the issue? No, Maria. It's about control. Whoever controls the canal controls the flow of the world. His voice slows. And right now, that's not us. Another moment of silence. Maria closes her notebook. She knows when an answer is final. She knows when Trump has said what he wants to say. But the conversation isn't over. Not really. Because out there, somewhere, leaders are listening, watching, calculating. And the game? The chess game Trump talks about? It's still being played. And America? America has a decision to make. Chapter 4. Government spending and DOGE's role. A plan to cut waste and crypto talk? The conversation shifts. The tension in the room softens. Just a little. But not for long. Donald Trump leans back in his chair. His hands move as he speaks. Strong gestures, sharp movements. His voice steady. Government spending is out of control, he says. It's crazy. Billions wasted on things we don't need, on people who don't deserve it. Maria Bartiromo nods. Can you give an example? Trump exhales. Oh, I can give you many. He counts on his fingers. Ridiculous programs, massive fraud, foreign aid to countries that hate us. He shakes his head. It's a disaster. Maria flips through her notes. Your administration made cuts before, but critics say those cuts hurt education, healthcare. Trump interrupts. Wrong. We cut the waste, the corruption, the programs that were draining the system. Maria presses on. So, if you return to office, what's your plan? Trump leans forward. We're going to cut waste like nobody's ever seen before. His voice lowers, and it starts with the agencies. Silence. Maria watches him. Which agencies? Trump smirks. The ones nobody needs. The ones that do nothing but spend money. Maria waits. But he doesn't say more. A long pause. A shift in energy. Then she pivots. What about cryptocurrency? Some say it's the future of finance. Trump chuckles. Crypto? Look, people love crypto. I get it. DOGE? People love DOGE. Maria raises an eyebrow. Do you? A grin. I like DOGE. It's fun. Elon likes it. People have fun with it. But should the government be involved? He shakes his head. No. We need real solutions. A rare moment of humor. A lighter tone. But only for a second. Then he gets serious again. We need the dollar to be strong. That's the real focus. Not fake money, not scams. A strong, powerful dollar. Maria listens. So, you're against cryptocurrency? Trump shrugs. Not against. But we have to be careful. Some of it is very dangerous. Maria presses. Some believe crypto could replace traditional banks, that it gives power back to the people. Trump smirks. Sounds nice, but who controls it? The big guys, the same ones who control everything else. He waves a hand. Look, people love crypto, and some of it's fine, but government getting involved? He shakes his head. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Maria tilts her head. So, you're saying no government-backed digital dollar? Trump scoffs. Central bank digital currency? Are you kidding? It's a terrible idea. That's government control. Total control. A pause. He looks straight at the camera. Do you really want the government knowing every dollar you spend? Every move you make? A chill runs through the room. Maria clears her throat. So, you believe in financial privacy? Trump nods. Absolutely. People should control their own money, not the government, not the banks, and not some digital system that can be turned off whenever they want. A long silence. The weight of his words fills the air. Maria leans back. Let's return to government spending. Some say cuts could hurt social programs, healthcare, education. Trump exhales. The money is there, Maria. It's just being wasted. We send billions overseas while Americans suffer. We give money to people who don't work. It's insane. Maria holds his gaze. So, what do you say to those who need those programs? Trump doesn't hesitate. We help the people who need it, but not the people who abuse it. That's the difference. Another pause. Maria nods. She glances at the clock. The interview is moving fast. She flips a page. One last question. If you cut government spending, what do you invest in? Trump smiles. America. Maria raises an eyebrow. Can you be more specific? Trump nods. Infrastructure, energy, manufacturing, things that make America great. His voice is firm. We bring back jobs. We build things here, not in China. We make our country strong again. A final pause. A moment of stillness. Maria lets his words settle. Then she moves on. But the debate? The conversation? It's far from over. And outside the studio, people are listening, waiting, wondering what comes next. Chapter 5. Trade Tariffs and Economic Policies. Mexico, Canada, and the deal that never was. The studio feels warmer now. The conversation is moving fast. The energy is rising. Donald Trump leans forward, his hands spread wide on the table. His voice is sharp, clear, confident. The deal was perfect, he says, but then they paused it. It's a disaster. Maria Bartiromo holds his gaze. But the tariffs, he interrupts. The tariffs were working. His voice rises. His frustration is real. Maria doesn't back down. Some say the tariffs hurt American businesses. Trump waves his hand. Wrong. They helped American businesses. They brought jobs back. They made our country stronger. Maria tilts her head. But companies were paying more for materials. Prices went up for consumers. Trump exhales. Look, Maria, when I came in, America was losing. Losing to China, losing to Mexico, losing to everyone. We had the worst trade deals, the worst. His fingers tap the desk. A slow, steady rhythm. So, I fixed it, he continues. I made better deals, fair deals. We were winning again. Maria nods. But then, the Biden administration paused some of your tariffs. They say it helped lower costs. Trump shakes his head. They don't get it. Tariffs aren't the problem. Bad deals are the problem. Maria flips through her notes. Let's talk about the USMCA deal. You replaced NAFTA with it? Was it a success? Trump nods. Huge success. NAFTA was a disaster. We lost millions of jobs. USMCA fixed that. We got a better deal for American workers, better rules for farmers, better protection for our companies. Maria raises an eyebrow. some analysts say it wasn't much different from NAFTA. Trump laughs. Analysts? The same ones who said China was fair? Please. He shakes his head. USMCA was tougher. It forced Mexico and Canada to play fair. They had to respect us. They had to follow the rules. Maria watches him carefully. And yet, some businesses still struggle. Some still move jobs overseas. Trump exhales. Because this administration isn't enforcing the deal. When I was in charge, they knew. They knew I meant business. His voice lowers. Now, they walk all over us again. A moment of silence. A shift in tone. Maria adjusts in her chair. Let's talk about China. You started a trade war. You said tariffs would bring jobs back. But some say it hurt farmers. That China just found new markets. Trump leans in. Maria, do you know what happened after I put tariffs on China? She waits. They came to the table, he says. They made a deal. They bought billions in American products. Farmers did better than ever. Maria doesn't look convinced. But the trade war wasn't fully resolved. Trump smirks. Because I left office. If I stayed, we would have won. Another pause. Outside the studio, people are listening. Some nodding. Some shaking their heads. Some just waiting for what comes next. Maria flips a page. Let's talk about Mexico. You threatened tariffs unless they stopped illegal immigration. Did it work? Trump grins. It worked better than anyone expected. One phone call. That's all it took. Maria raises an eyebrow. One phone call? Trump nods. I called Mexico. I said, if you don't stop this, I put tariffs on everything you sell to us. Everything. And guess what? They sent troops to their border. Stopped the problem overnight. Maria glances at the camera. The audience is hanging on every word. But, she says, some say Mexico just did it to avoid economic collapse. Trump shrugs. Doesn't matter why. It worked. That's the point. Maria sighs. But tariffs can't fix everything. Trump tilts his head. Maybe not, but they fix a lot. They bring jobs back. They stop other countries from taking advantage of us. A long pause. Maria looks down at her notes, then back up at him. Mr. President, she says, if you return to office, will you bring the tariffs back? Trump smiles. Stronger than before. Silence. A final moment of tension. Maria leans back. The interview isn't over, but this part is. And outside the studio, people are listening, waiting, wondering what comes next. Before we begin Chapter 6, a quick note for our listeners. You're currently listening to this audiobook on Woo English. Remember, this content is specially made for Woo English listeners only. If you're hearing it on any other channel, it may be a violation of Woo English's rights. Please ensure you're tuned into the right source to fully enjoy and respect this audiobook journey. Now, let's continue the story. Chapter 6. Trump versus Zelenskyy. I don't trust him. The conversation shifts. The air in the studio feels different now. Heavier, tighter. Maria Bartiromo straightens in her chair. She glances at her notes. Then she looks up. Let's talk about Ukraine, she says. A sharp turn. Donald Trump's expression changes. His jaw tightens. His eyes narrow. The name Zelenskyy is mentioned, and Trump leans back in his chair. He exhales, slowly, deeply. Then he speaks. He's not grateful, Trump says. We give Ukraine billions, and what do we get? Nothing. Maria watches him. What do you mean by nothing? Trump waves a hand. No respect, no appreciation. We give them money, weapons, support. And do they thank us? No. They ask for more. Maria chooses her next words carefully. Are you saying we shouldn't support Ukraine? Trump shrugs. I'm saying we should be smart. A pause. Outside the studio, millions are watching. Some nodding in agreement, some frowning, some sitting still, waiting for what comes next. Maria doesn't break eye contact. But Ukraine is fighting a war. They say they need our help. Trump leans forward. His voice drops. And how long do we keep helping? How much do we send? How much is enough? Maria flips through her notes. Congress has approved billions in aid. Some say it's necessary. Others say it's too much. Trump raises an eyebrow. Too much? It's a fortune. And we don't even know where it's going. Maria tilts her head. Ukraine says the aid is saving lives. That without it, they can't win. Trump shakes his head. It's not our war. Silence. A heavy moment. The words settle. Maria stays calm. But isn't it about stopping Russia? Trump smirks. Russia wouldn't have invaded if I were president. Maria's eyes widen slightly. You believe that? Trump nods. I know it. A beat of stillness. The tension is real now. Thick. Palpable. Maria clears her throat. How? Trump leans back. Because Putin respected me. Maria blinks. Respected? Trump nods again. He didn't try this when I was in office. He knew I wouldn't allow it. Maria presses. So, what would you do differently? Trump exhales. First, I'd tell Europe to pay their share. We protect them, but they don't pay enough. That stops. He taps his fingers on the table. Once, twice. Second, I'd sit down with Putin and Zelenskyy. One meeting, we'd end this war. Maria studies him. You really think it's that simple? Trump smiles. With the right leader, yes. Another pause. Outside, social media explodes. Comments flood in. Some call him strong. Some call him reckless. Some don't know what to think. Maria glances at her notes again. So, you don't trust Zelenskyy? Trump chuckles. I don't trust anyone who asks for billions but gives nothing in return. Maria raises an eyebrow. Nothing? Trump waves his hand again. No reforms, no accountability, no real peace talks, just send more money. Maria shifts in her chair. Many see Zelenskyy as a hero. Trump shrugs. Good for them. A long silence. Maria doesn't look away. So, what's your message to Ukraine? Trump exhales. Win your war, but don't expect America to pay for it forever. The weight of those words lingers. Maria nods. She knows the conversation is shifting again. The interview is moving forward. But the debate? The controversy? It's only just beginning. And outside the studio, the world is listening. Watching, waiting, wondering what happens next. Chapter 7. Media, Reactions, and Criticism. Was it too easy? The interview is over. The cameras stop rolling. The studio lights dim. Maria Bartiromo leans back in her chair. She exhales. A long breath. The weight of the conversation still lingers. Across from her, Donald Trump stands. He straightens his tie, smirks. He knows what's coming next. Outside, the real storm begins. Within minutes, news channels light up. CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News. The analysts are ready. The opinions loud. Maria was too soft, some say. She let him control the narrative. Others disagree. She asked the right questions. He just bulldozed through them. The debate is fierce, heated, unstoppable. On social media, the reaction is instant. Twitter explodes. Facebook fills with comments. Clips of the interview spread like wildfire. Trump dominated, one person tweets. She didn't challenge him, another replies. Classic Trump, talks over the interviewer, avoids hard questions. Maria did her job. She let him speak. Every side has an opinion. Every voice is louder than the last. In the newsroom, journalists scramble. Headlines are written. Articles appear online. Trump Unfiltered. The interview that shook politics. Did Maria Bartiromo go too easy on Trump? A masterclass in media control. Trump takes over the interview. Some call it a disaster. Others call it brilliant. In the control room, producers replay the footage. They analyze every word, every pause, every interruption. Did she press him hard enough? Did he dodge too many questions? Was this real journalism, or just another platform for him to speak unchecked? Opinions clash. Discussions turn into arguments. No one agrees. But one thing is certain. People are talking. And in media, that means success. Meanwhile, at home, Americans watch the clips. Some shake their heads, others nod in approval. Some just sit quietly, thinking. For Trump's supporters, the interview is proof. Proof that he's still strong, that he speaks his mind, that no one can control him. For his critics, it's another example, another moment where he dodged, deflected, changed the subject. For Maria, the reaction is mixed. Some say she was weak. Some say she did exactly what she was supposed to do. She knew this would happen. She expected it. But still, the voices are loud. Trump doesn't seem to care. Later, he posts on social media. Great interview. Tremendous people watching. It gets thousands of likes, thousands of comments. The media keeps debating. The analysts keep arguing. The cycle continues. And as the night fades, one question remains. Who really won this interview? Trump? Maria? Or no one at all? Chapter 8. The Public's Response. Praise and outrage. The interview is over. The cameras have stopped. The studio is empty. But outside, the real conversation has just begun. Twitter explodes. Comments flood in. Some cheer, some rage. Some just watch as the storm unfolds. Trump tells the truth. Finally, someone stands up to the system. This is what leadership looks like. But not everyone agrees. Lies, deflection, more of the same. He didn't answer a single real question. How does anyone still believe this guy? The reaction is instant, passionate, divided. News outlets run their own polls. Did Trump win the interview? Did Maria push hard enough? Did he dodge the tough questions? The answers depend on who you ask. On cable news, the reactions are predictable. CNN calls it a disaster. More of the same rhetoric, one analyst says. He controlled the conversation. He avoided real answers. Fox News has a different take. Trump was direct, strong, and clear, a commentator argues. This is why people love him. MSNBC runs a panel discussion. Maria Bartiromo had a chance to challenge him, and she didn't. In coffee shops, at dinner tables, at gas stations, people are talking. Did you see the interview? What did you think? Same old Trump. Honestly, I think he made some good points. Street interviews capture the division. A woman in New York shakes her head. I just don't understand how people still support him. A man in Texas crosses his arms. He's the only one who tells it like it is. A college student in California sighs. It's all just noise. Politics is a game, and we're the ones stuck watching. A construction worker in Florida laughs. Doesn't matter what he says. His supporters will love him. His haters will hate him. And then, of course, Trump speaks for himself. A tweet. Short, simple. Exactly what people expect. Great interview. Tremendous people watching. It gets tens of thousands of likes in minutes. Thousands of comments, some cheering, some mocking, some just watching the numbers climb. Maria Bartiromo, on the other hand, says nothing. She doesn't respond to the criticism, doesn't defend herself. She knows how this works. The moment is bigger than her. For Trump, it's just another battle in a long war, another interview, another chance to control the message. For his supporters, it's proof that he's still strong, still fighting, still in the game. For his critics, it's the same old story, the same answers, the same performance. For the media, it's fuel. More stories, more debates, more clicks. And for America, it's another chapter in a book that never seems to end. Because tomorrow, the debate continues. Tomorrow, the headlines will still be there. Tomorrow, the conversation won't stop. Not yet. Not anytime soon. Chapter 9. What's next? The ripple effect. The cameras are off. The studio is empty. The interview is over. But the impact? It's just beginning. Across the country, news anchors analyze every word, every pause, every look. What does this mean for U.S. foreign policy? One asks. Will Trump's comments on Ukraine change anything? Another wonders. Could his trade plans actually happen? The questions swirl, the debate grows, and the world watches. In Washington, politicians react. Some praise him. Strong leadership, they say. He knows how to negotiate. Others shake their heads. Reckless, dangerous, more of the same. The White House is silent. For now. But inside, they are watching, listening, planning their response. In Iran, government officials meet behind closed doors. What did Trump mean by a warning? A promise? In Ukraine, leaders read his words carefully. Can America really pull back its support? Would it? In China, analysts take notes. If Trump returns, what changes? What risks? What opportunities? Every word matters. Every sentence has weight. On Wall Street, The markets react. Investors adjust. Stocks shift. Money moves. Some companies feel hope. Others feel fear. If Trump wins again, will trade tariffs return? Will factories move back to the U.S.? Will global markets shake? No one knows for sure. At his home in Florida, Trump reads the headlines. He watches the news. He listens. And then he does what he always does. He speaks. A new tweet. Short. Powerful. Straight to the point. Tremendous interview. Big changes coming. Thousands of likes. Thousands of comments. The conversation doesn't end. It grows. It spreads. His supporters cheer. He's still the fighter we need. His critics sigh. He's never going away, is he? And the undecided? They just wait, watching, wondering. In political offices, advisors whisper, "What's next? What's the strategy? How do we prepare?" Campaign teams sharpen their messages. Think tanks write reports. Pollsters track the numbers. Because one thing is clear. This conversation isn't over, not by a long shot. The interview was just the beginning. And Trump? He always has more to say. Always.